Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies, gentlemen, I rise today with a heavy heart to adjourn in memory of a good friend and longtime San Diegan, Herbert G. Klein. He was born in Los Angeles in 1918. Herb graduated from Theodore Roosevelt High School in Boyle Heights and went to USC. While at USC, Herb began honing his newspaper or journalistic skills as the sports editor for the Daily Trojan. USC is also where he met his wife, who he married in 1941 and was married to her for 66 years till you heard me last year give a adjourn in memory of her, Marjorie. So great was his love for the University of Southern California that Klein continued his involvement with the school well after graduation and served as the past president of the General Alumni Association and was a USC Life trustee. This led to a decade-long career in journalism and communication and politics. In 1941, Herb began his newspaper career as a copy boy with the California Post-Advocate in Alhambra. A year later, Klein took a 4-year absence and served in the Navy, doing the public affairs officer work in the Pacific, working again with my father. Mr. Klein worked with newspaper organizations, was often interrupted by political events. Most notably, I think all of you will recognize that Klein worked as the press secretary for Richard Nixon, which included all of his campaigns, including his first congressional race in '46, his second one in '48, his Senate race in 1950, his vice presidential races of '52 and '56, his presidential race of '60, his governor's race of '62, and the presidential race successful of 1968. Klein would go on to serve in the White House and actually invented the term communications director, a position that he held for the first 4 years of the Nixon administration before he left in 1973. Mr. Klein was also a mentor to many of us. Congressman Kemp is one, Pete Wilson is another, myself, and my colleague Nathan Fletcher are just a few of the individuals that he mentored throughout his career. Mr. Klein is perhaps best known in San Diego area for his work with the Copley newspapers, though, and the San Diego Union-Tribune. In total, Mr. Klein worked for the Copley newspapers off and on for a total of over 50 years, rising to the title of editor-in-chief in 1980 and serving till 2003 when he retired. Aside from his newspaper work, Mr. Klein was also very influential in the San Diego community, particularly expressing that influence and his dedication and time and his love of sports. Mr. Klein attended over 35 Super Bowls, including the first one, and was a key member of the committee that helped bring 3 of those Super Bowls, the 1988, 1998, and 2003 Super Bowl to San Diego. He also helped found the Holiday Bowl. Members, I could stand here and go on for hours and hours about my good friend Herb Klein. He was more than a newspaper man and a politician. He was really a member of my family. I had the privilege of knowing him, and he attended my wedding. I've known him my entire life. He was always there when I called on him. His wealth of experience, his knowledge, his wisdom was there just at the asking. Mr. Klein and my father attended USC together and later joined the Navy, and their parallel careers carried them through 65 years of friendship, culminating with Herb giving one of the obituaries, giving the eulogy and writing part of my father's obituary for the San Diego Union. I will always have a special place in my heart for Herb Klein. I know that he is smiling down on us today. He was a great husband, a father, a friend, a businessman, a community leader. In other words, he was a true American gentleman. I ask to adjourn in memory.